Hey y'all, and welcome to the video. For this one, it's going to be our first Q&A video, and the question, it's only one question for this one because it'll take the whole video, and that is, what are the best model years of Dodge Ram Cummins, in my opinion? So, to answer that question, and it is my opinion, a few model years that stick out to me. Number one, 1998.0. 98.0 is desirable because it's the very last of the 12 valves. If you wanted the simple 12 valve engine, the mechanical fuel injection, you got to go with 98 if you want as new of a truck as possible. There may have also been a couple of interior changes. That gauge cluster may have changed that year too. At some point during the second gens it did. I think it was 98. So if you wanted that with the 12 valve, have as new of possible 12 valve engine, 98.0. What are another model year? Another one is 2003 and 2004.0. Now I got an 03 truck over here to this side of me. I really like my 03, and 03 is a really good model year, and it's kind of a surprise because 03 was the first model year of a new generation. Typically you have hiccups and things, and that truck had some hiccups. It had a weak lift pump, it had terrible plastic material on the interior like the crack dash and stuff that would have been fixed by the time we got to the later third gens with the in-tank fuel pump and better plastics on the interior. But those are minor things. What made the 03 so great? Well, one thing was you got your common rail, modern technology fuel injection with no emissions, not even a catalytic converter. This was before emissions took priority over reliability, durability, dependability. So 03, early 04, the 305 horsepower output, that's my favorite. This truck happens to be a standard output. They're very good too, but the high outputs from those years were the best. And another benefit of them is they got such great fuel economy. I think, in my opinion, best model years of fuel economy. Fuel.com data will back me up on this to some extent. It's not 100% scientific. Some people tow more than other people and it skews the data, but if you look at that data and you find similar trucks that are driven 90% highway and whatnot, you'll see 03, 04, they're really good fuel efficiency model years. Only a tenth or two a mile gallon difference compared to the 12 valve VPs, but if you wanted the max possible fuel efficiency, I think those early 5.9 common rails were the way to go, and that's why I find those to be such desirable trucks. Next model year, 2007.0. A lot of people say they like 2006. I think 2006 is the same as 2007.0, with the exception as 06 had the gauge cluster electronic problems. The 07 didn't have that, and you still got the 5.9 engine, and it's as new as possible of truck that came with the 5.9 that was pre-serious emissions. So going back to the 03s, they didn't have the cat. They also didn't have the third injection event. And the third injection event, they used it as an opportunity to increase power on the trucks. So you got some more power. And this was back in 04.5. You got more power. But their priorities weren't straight. They were thinking, oh, we got to add this extra injection event to try and reduce nitrous oxides. That's where they got their priorities wrong. The priorities wasn't about durability, reliability, dependability anymore. It was about keeping the government happy about emissions. Once they started getting sidetracked by emissions, that's when trucks got less reliable and more complicated. And I like simple and reliable and durable. But 07, this is before it got too serious. You had the third injection event and a cat on the exhaust. The cat can easily be removed. The third injection event, it's not that big a deal. But 5.9 engine, pre-emissions, as far as no DPF and no regeneration to have to worry about. That's why 07 is really good. And in particular, a lot of people will seek out an 07 model truck because you could get the mega cab if you like mega cabs. So if you want a mega cab 5.9, you got to go with these later third gens. But if you want a mega cab, mega cab third gen with the 5.9, you've only got a couple model years to choose from. What else do we have? So the next one I really like is 2018. 18 is the final year of the fourth gen. Fourth gen was just a great generation altogether. Sales numbers rose every year for 10 straight years, partially because they started the generation during a recession, but partially because they were good trucks. I mean, who sells their best sales year in a 10-year-old design? Originally released in 2009, by 2018 they were selling more trucks than they ever had. So 4th gen was a good model year, but by 2018 everything had been refined as much as possible. The transmission tuning, particularly on the Ison, was really refined. They dealt with some of the issues that 4th gen had, like that coolant Y-pipe deal. That was dealt with and done away with by 2018. So they had a reliable engine, a reliable truck, and you know, come 2019 they switched to the CP4 and had issues. So 2018 very, very desirable in my opinion, but so is 2017 and 16, very similar in my opinion. Also for 2018, the last of the G56 manual transmission. So if you wanted as new a truck as possible with the manual, 2018 is your truck to go with. How about some honorable mentions now? I'm going to say 1993 for your 1st gen fans. I think 93 being the last year of the 1st gens, you got as many features as you could get out of the 1st gen. A transmission that may have overdrive, because when they first came out, they had the 3-speed, no overdrive. By 93, I'm pretty sure they had the 4-speed with overdrive. And then the other thing about the 1st gens was whether they had an intercooler or not, because there was some non-intercooled 1st gens, but by 93, they were probably all intercooled by that point. So you get your intercooled truck with a transmission that has overdrive. That would be my go-to for 1st gens, go to 93. Another honorable mention. Let's say 09. I mean, 09 is not that great of a model year. I would say not the best model year. This truck's in 09 if you couldn't tell. But underrated. I could do a whole video on why that's an underrated model year. So besides that, those are my favorites. I would say 98.0, 03, 04.0, 07.0, and 18. So that's the Q&A video for today. And let me know if you have questions that you'd like answered in a video of this format, and post down below and I'll see what I can do. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you next time.